think we're going to make a start. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming. This evening's performance is part of our 50th anniversary programme at the gallery here. This year we're 50. And part of the programme of events that we have running alongside the exhibitions, which are looking at our past programme and also at our future, showing older works with younger artists. We've been commissioning artists and writers to engage with our archive and come up with various things from there. So we have Sally O'Reilly, who is our writer-in-residence, who has been writing texts to accompany our shows and producing her own performances, which we're showing here throughout the year. Part of that programme, we're also inviting commissioning artists like Andrea Mason, whose performance we're going to see this evening, to delve into our archive and have a look and see if they can find some material and some interesting nuggets from which to generate some new writing and some new performance work, which is what we're going to see this evening. So there's a whole bunch of different things that are going to happen. There'll be a break about halfway through. So I hope you enjoy it. And I'll hand over to Andrea.
Okay, this first piece is from some correspondence between a Chinese artist called Wenda Gu, or he sometimes calls himself Gu Wenda. He had an exhibition here in the early 90s, so this is just very edited extracts. And it goes backwards, because when you look through an archive, everything comes back to front. It's like newest first, but it kind of worked. And this is the cartoon before the main feature, as Sally called it. Okay, so it's called Please Say Pamela Hello. October 28th, 1993. Wenda Gu from Brooklyn to Pamela, MAO. Dear Pamela, there's one thing I would like to ask you for help. Please ask the barbershops nearby your home and the museum to save the hair they cut, then send it to me. Please do help me to get the hair from England. Best regards and love, Wenda Gu. September 16th, 1993. Wenda Gu, fax to Mr. Graham. Please send the placenta powder to me immediately and safely. Joy and happiness, Wenda Gu. August 17th, 1993. Wenda to Pamela Ferris. It was really joyful to work with you in Oxford. I thought about inviting you for dinner when I was there, but for two reasons I didn't, because I was not sure it would be convenient for you and I was so busy for the work. Anyway, I wish you joy and happiness. Please say hello to your boyfriend. Sorry, I forgot his name. Wenda Gu. August 6th, 1993. Wenda to David Elliott. Please send the different placenta powder to me after your show closed. I need them soon. Thank you very much. Please say Pamela hello. Best regards, Wenda Gu. June 1st, 1993. Gu Wenda to David Elliott. Postcard. I believe that this work could be the ending work of conceptualism. Anyway, how is your everything going? I wish you all the best, Wenda Gu. May 29th, 1993, Gu Wenda to Graham Halstead, fax. Please don't forget to buy some beeswax. April 25th, 1993, Wenda Gu to David Elliott. Dear Mr. David, the placenta powder will be spread on the blankets, each baby bed covered with a glass box. Please say hello to Pamela and other girl, I forgot the name, Wenda Gu. 23rd of December 1992, Wenda Gu to David Elliott. Dear David, I'm glad that I'm selected for your museum show. I'm now thinking a global show of Oedipus Refound, 2000 Natural Deaths. P.S. Please help me find woman participants from England to send me bloody gift to my studio. So that was the first piece. So this is the main feature. This is a bit of an endurance reading. It's about 17 minutes. It's called After Fidget, or What Would Kenny Do? Kenny is Kenneth Goldsmith, and he wrote a book called Fidget, in which he documented every move he made over the course of a day. And it's based on this box here. This is the first thing I saw when I came on my very first recce visit. And it just immediately attracted me, because it just cancelled exhibitions. I just thought that's got to be interesting. And this is kind of what I found. Okay. So After Fidget, or What Would Kenny Do? Lift box off shelf. Box 25, cancelled exhibitions. Place box on table. Lift lid. Place lid on its back on table. Lift out folder. Cancelled German Expressionist drawing exhibition, 1979. Place folder on table. Sit down. Push lid further to right. Open folder. Take out sheaf of papers. Read. Mr. and Mrs. D.T. Bergen Collection Inventory Form. Inventory number 249. Title, Straßenbrücke über die Wannseebaum. Artist, Ernst Ludwig Kirchner. Lift right hand to mouth. Rub back of fingers against mouth. Push left leg underneath chair. Balance foot on toes. Pull in chair. Place sheet to right. Read. Mr. and Mrs. D.T. Bergen Collection Inventory Form. Inventory number 76. Title, Bildnis Frau Lotte Peckstein. Artist, Hermann Max Peckstein. Scratch head left side above ear. Scratch under each ear on jawline. Place right foot flat. Take a deep breath. Place sheet to right. Read. Mr. and Mrs. D.T. Bergen Collection Inventory Form. Inventory number 45. Title, Abenteuer eines Kaisers. Artist, Alfred Kubin. Scratch under chin with right hand. Scratch right upper lip. Scratch forehead above right eyebrow. Take a deep breath. Place sheet to right. Read. Mr. and Mrs. D.T. Bergen Collection Inventory Form. Inventory number 259. Title, Seated Woman. Artist, Karl Hofer. Scratch left nostril. Grasp nose with left hand. Pull left hand down to mouth. Place sheet to right. Read. Mr. and Mrs. D.T. Bergen Collection Inventory Form. Inventory number 115. Title, Fabrik Landschaft. Artist, Ludwig Meiner. Place left foot flat on floor. Pull in chair. Place feet forward under table. Scratch right eyebrow. Place sheet to right. Read. Mr. and Mrs. D.T. Bergen Collection Inventory Form. Inventory number 231. Title, Selbstbildnis. Artist, Ludwig Meiner. Take a deep breath. Scratch left forearm. Lick tip of right index finger. Move feet underneath chair. Place sheet to right. Read. Mr. and Mrs. D.T. Bergen Collection Inventory Form. Inventory number 186. Title, Bildnis des Vaters des Künstlers. Artist, Otto Dix. Swallow. Place sheet to right. Read. Mr. and Mrs. D.T. Bergen Collection Inventory Form. Inventory number 163. Title, Ex Libris Meidner. Artist, Ludwig Meiner. Scratch right upper lip. Take a deep breath. Place sheet to right. Read. Mr. and Mrs. D.T. Bergen Collection Inventory Form. Inventory number 234. Title, The Prophet Micha. Artist, Ludwig Meiner. Bring right hand up to mouth. Rub back of fingers against mouth. Place sheet to right. Read. Mr. and Mrs. D.T. Bergen Collection Inventory Form. Inventory number 165. Title, Prophet with Raised Hands. Artist, Ludwig Meiner. Place sheet to right. Read. Mr. and Mrs. D.T. Bergen Collection Inventory Form. Inventory number 156. Title, Prophets. Artist, Ludwig Meiner. Scratch left cheek. Scratch right eyebrow. Take a deep breath. Place sheet to right. Read. Mr. and Mrs. D.T. Bergen Collection Inventory Form. Inventory number 132. Title, Alter Mann auf dein WC. Artist, Ludwig Meiner. Scratch head, top left. Take a deep breath. Place sheet to right. Read. Mr. and Mrs. D.T. Bergen Collection Inventory Form. Inventory number 233. Title, Apocalyptic Scene. Artist, Ludwig Meiner. Lift hands off table. Scratch lower back. Place sheet to right. Read. Mr. and Mrs. D.T. Bergen Collection Inventory Form. Inventory number 193. Title, Portrait des Schriftstellers Hans Freimark. Artist, Ludwig Meiner. Place sheet to right. Read. Mr. and Mrs. D.T. Bergen Collection Inventory Form. Inventory number 239. Title, Seated Biblical Figure. Artist, Ludwig Meiner. Cross legs at ankles. Place sheet to right. Read. Mr. and Mrs. D.T. Bergen Collection Inventory Form. Inventory number 134. Title, Biblische Gestalt. Artist, Ludwig Meiner. Place feet forward. Place sheet to right. Read. Mr. and Mrs. D.T. Bergen Collection Inventory Form. Inventory number 241. Title, Psalm 126. Artist, Ludwig Miner. Scratch lower back. Place sheet to right. Read, Mr. and Mrs. D.T. Bergen Collection Inventory Form. Inventory number 160. Title, Wolfgang Görlit und Frau Lilly Christensen Augustin. Artist, Rudolf Grossmann. Scratch head top left. Place sheet to right. Read, Mr. and Mrs. D.T. Bergen Collection Inventory Form. Inventory number 13. Title, Clara. Artist, Otto Dix. Look up at door. Place sheet to right. Read, Mr. and Mrs. D.T. Bergen Collection Inventory Form. Inventory number 25. Title, Portrait of Walter Mehring. Artist, George Gross. Rub left nostril with left thumb. Place sheet to right. Read, Mr. and Mrs. D.T. Bergen Collection Inventory Form. Inventory number 251. Title, Christ with Gas Mask. Artist, George Gross. Take a deep breath. Place sheet to right. Read, Mr. and Mrs. D.T. Bergen Collection Inventory Form. Inventory number 136. Title, Der Dank des Vaterlandes. Artist, George Gross. Scratch right side of neck. Scratch head top right. Place sheet to right. Read, Mr. and Mrs. D.T. Bergen Collection Inventory Form. Inventory number 259. Title, Kinder Begrabnis. Artist, George Gross. Lift right hand to mouth. Rub back of fingers against mouth. Place sheet to right. Read, Mr. and Mrs. D.T. Bergen Collection Inventory Form. Inventory number 245. Title, Menschen in Café. Artist, George Gross. Scratch head behind right ear. Take a deep breath. Place sheet to right. Read, Mr. and Mrs. D.T. Bergen Collection Inventory Form. Inventory number 182. Title, Selbstbildnis. Artist, George Gross. Lift toes, keeping heels on floor. Return feet to floor. Scratch back, lower right side. Lick tip of index right finger of right hand. Place sheet to right. Read, Mr. and Mrs. D.T. Bergen Collection Inventory Form. Inventory number 169. Title, Selbstbildnis 1947. Artist, Gerhard Marx. Scratch head top right. Place sheet to right. Read, Mr. and Mrs. D.T. Bergen Collection Inventory Form. Inventory number 28. Title, The Card Players. Artist, Otto Dix. Rub left eye. Place elbows on table. Press hands on face. Scratch right cheek. Place sheet to right. Read, Mr. and Mrs. D.T. Bergen Collection Inventory Form. Inventory number 266. Title, Road to Ascona. Artist, Arthur Siegel. Hiccup. Place sheet to right. Read, Mr. and Mrs. D.T. Bergen Collection Inventory Form. Inventory number 87. Title, Junge Frau mit Pferden. Artist, George Schrimpf. Take a deep breath. Place sheet to right. Read, Mr. and Mrs. D.T. Bergen Collection Inventory Form. Inventory number 267. Title, Tree in Landscape. Artist, Arthur Siegel. Swallow. Place sheet to right. Read, Mr. and Mrs. D.T. Bergen Collection Inventory Form. Inventory number 187. Title, Ausblick auf den Fluss. Artist, August Macker. Rub thumb of each hand with forefinger. Rub cuticle of each middle finger with thumb. Rub cuticle of each index finger with middle finger. Bring left hand to mouth. Rub back of fingers against mouth. Lift heels. Return heels to floor. Scratch outside of right knee. Place sheet to right. Read, Mr. and Mrs. D.T. Bergen Collection Inventory Form. Inventory number 171. Title, Doppelgruppe von 4 Pferden. Artist, Franz Mark. Raise heels. Place sheet to right. Read, Mr. and Mrs. D.T. Bergen Collection Inventory Form. Inventory number 244. Title, Promenade. Artist, Lionel Feininger. Brush hair off sheet. Place sheet to right. Read, Mr. and Mrs. D.T. Bergen Collection Inventory Form. Inventory number 250. Title, Study for Lebensraum. Artist, Ferdinand Hodler. Take a deep breath. Place sheet to right. Read, Mr. and Mrs. D.T. Bergen Collection Inventory Form. Inventory number 39. Title, Studie zum Bildnis Fräulein Lisa. Artist, Gustav Klimt. Place sheet to right. Read, Mr. and Mrs. D.T. Bergen Collection Inventory Form, Inventory Number 84. Title, Portrait of the Painter, Paris von Gütersloh. Artist, Egon Schiele. Place sheet to right. Read, Mr. and Mrs. D.T. Bergen Collection Inventory Form, Inventory Number 185. Title, Landschaft mit Haus und Sonne. Artist, Wilhelm Morgner. Listen to footsteps overhead. Scratch head above right ear. Scratch lobe of left ear. Place sheet to right. Read, Mr. and Mrs. D.T. Bergen Collection Inventory Form, Inventory Number 130. Title, Im Atelier. Artist, Eric Heckel. Tip back in chair. Place sheet to right. Read, Mr. and Mrs. D.T. Bergen Collection Inventory Form, Inventory Number 75. Title, Die Brücke. Artist, Emil Nolde. Scratch head top left. Listen to voices outside door. Take a deep breath. Place sheet to right. Read, Mr. and Mrs. D.T. Bergen Collection Inventory Form, Inventory Number 4. Title, Quappy Patience Legend. Artist, Max Beckmann. Bring right hand up to mouth. Scratch nose. Swallow. Place sheet to right. Read, Mr. and Mrs. D.T. Bergen Collection Inventory Form, Inventory Number 240. Title, Bildnis Dr. Wilhelm Valentina. Artist, Ludwig Meiner. Take a deep breath. Place sheet to right. Read, Mr. and Mrs. D.T. Bergen Collection Inventory Form, Inventory Number 178. Title, Van der Ude Vagabunden. Cross legs underneath chair. Look forwards. Place sheet to right. Read, Mr. and Mrs. D.T. Bergen Collection Inventory Form, Inventory Number 3. Title, Männerstolz vor Königsthronen. Artist, Ernst Barlach. Lick tip of right index finger. Place sheet to right. Read, Mr. and Mrs. D.T. Bergen Collection Inventory Form, Inventory Number 206. Title, Stehende mit herabhängenden Armen. Artist, Ernst Barlach. Listen to steps overhead. Listen to chairs being moved overhead. Listen to door being closed overhead. Place sheet to right. Read, Mr. and Mrs. D.T. Bergen Collection Inventory Form, Inventory Number 11. Title, Thomas mit Hat in der Hand. Artist, Lovis Corinth. Take a deep breath. Place sheet to right. Read, Mr. and Mrs. D.T. Bergen Collection Inventory Form, Inventory Number 189. Title, Die Freiwilligen. Artist, Käthe Kollwitz. Scratch upper lip. Scratch top of nose. Run right index finger and middle finger along right brow. Place feet flat on floor. Scratch left temple. Place sheet to right. Read, Mr. and Mrs. D.T. Bergen Collection Inventory Form, Inventory Number 53. Title, Seated Male Nude. Artist, Gerhard Marx. Pull seat further into table. Raise feet on toes. Scratch lower lip. Take a deep breath. Place sheet to right. Read, Mr. and Mrs. D.T. Bergen Collection Inventory Form, Inventory Number 164. Title, Weibliche Act. Artist, Gerhard Marx. Place sheet to right. Read, Mr. and Mrs. D.T. Bergen Collection Inventory Form, Inventory Number 57. Title, Selbstbildnis mit Landschaft. Artist, Ludwig Meiner. Scratch lower lip. Place sheet to right. Read, Mr. and Mrs. D.T. Bergen Collection Inventory Form, Inventory Number 180. Title, Prophet 1916. Artist, Ludwig Meiner. Scratch top of right ear. Place sheet to right. Read, Mr. and Mrs. D.T. Bergen Collection Inventory Form, Inventory Number 261. Title, Self-Portrait 1921. Artist, Ludwig Meiner. Google Ludwig Meiner. Take a deep breath. Place sheet to right. Read, Mr. and Mrs. D.T. Bergen Collection Inventory Form, Inventory Number 237. Title, Self-Portrait as Prophet. Artist, Ludwig Meiner. Read Wikipedia entry for Ludwig Meiner on phone. Choose skin around cuticles. Scratch right forehead. Place feet flat on floor. Look forwards. Place sheet to right. Read, Mr. and Mrs. D.T. Bergen Collection Inventory Form, Inventory Number 70. Title, Bildnis Paul Westheim. Artist, Ludwig Meiner. Place sheet to right. Read, Mr. and Mrs. D.T. Bergen Collection Inventory Form, Inventory Number 118. Title, Figur im Nächtlicher Straße. Artist, Ludwig Meiner. Bite lower lip. Take a deep breath. Place sheet to right. Read, Mr. and Mrs. D.T. Bergen Collection Inventory Form. Inventory number 108. Title, Der Bettler. Artist, Ludwig Meiner. Place feet forwards. Scratch right knee. Take a deep breath. Place sheet to right. Read, Mr. and Mrs. D.T. Bergen Collection Inventory Form. Inventory number, unassigned. Title, Frau mit Blumen. Artist, Karl Hofer. Place sheet to right. Push chair back, stand up, replace sheets in folder, replace folder in box, replace box on shelf. So our third piece is, there was a big filing cabinet full of analogue slides, you know, those lovely old things, and most of them were all like paintings, and then I found this one set of slides from Corbusier, and it's of the city he made in Chandigarh, which is this whole like grid system city built of concrete in India. So I thought we would have some slides from that. I can find that. So this piece is called Donkeys Using Ramp. Should the light, that light off? Oh, it helps if I switch it on. Sorry. Thank you. Okay. So we're going to have a short break. If you want to just go quickly get a little drink, or go to the toilet, as we rearrange. This piece is called What David Did. So David Elliott was the director of, it used to be called Museum of Modern Art. I'm not sure exactly which year it became Modern Art Oxford. So, yeah, a little way along from Council Exhibitions was this box, David Elliott's Diaries. So I've got to have a poke in there. I thought you guys might like to have a little poke with me. So we've got on the table diaries from 1979 to 1988. So we just thought it'd be quite fun if you all like throw a date at me between those years, and Thomas. So it's 1979 to 1988. So just chuck us some dates, and we're going to open up and read the entries and see what David got up to.
1986.
1986. What date?
July the 6th.
July the 6th. It was a Sunday. There was no entry.
1980. 19th of September. 19th of September.
But that's your birthday.
It was a Friday, 10 a.m. G. Cheeseman.
1985.
Yep. Date?
2nd of December.
2nd of December. It's a Monday. Ooh, gallery's closed on Monday, no entry. I'm drawing blanks.
February the 14th, 1989.
Ooh, we go up to 1988, I'm afraid.
88. Let's do 88.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
What was it, February the
14th.
14th?
Diary jinx.
This is quite a push diary, this one. February the 14th. 14th or 19th?
14th.
14th. Okay, so it's a Sunday, but he did something. He did York, and he did another something dose, another Russia closes. February 1988. Another Russia, exhibition called Another
Yes.
Russia
It
closes.
is, yeah. Stuff
There you go.
upstairs.
Yeah. And he went to York. A few more?
29th of December, 85.
December. 29th. That's November. Oh, it's a Sunday. But when it's an entry, it says to do. Okay, I'm reading this as to do / Robin. I might have misread that.
It's 28th of April. I don't know which year. What's the first year?
79.
79.
28th of April, 79.
Saturday, no entry.
July the 6th of the same year.
Friday, July the 6th. C. Flanagan, Hapguard, crossed out, Leeds / Sheffield.
We should do two more.
Cancelled
Two
exhibitions.
more.
9th of March 1980.
9th of March 1980. Is that when you were born?
Sunday, 9th of March, 5 p.m. Approach committee.
Okay, last one.
1981, the 21st of September.
21st of September, 11 a.m. Pamela Hart. 12 midday, Mark McGowan, crossed out. 3 p.m. no entry. Colour proofs okay for prep for poster.
Okay, thank you, David. Brilliant. Okay. Oh, right. So we've got two more little things. Okay. So this is the title piece. So in my very uncreative fashion, I inventoried all the names of the storage systems in there's two archive rooms, and made a little homage, a little musical ditty. So it's a bit silly, but you know, it's about 3 minutes. I was going to make you all sing it with me, but I was persuaded against that idea. Fair enough. Okay, are you ready? Archive, Banker's Box, Office Depot, Staples. Archive, Banker's Box, Viking, Viking. Archive, Banker's Box, Office Depot. Archive, Banker's Box, Viking, 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 Staples. Archive, Banker's Box. Archive, Banker's Box. Archive, Banker's Box. Archive, Banker's Box. Archive, Banker's Box, Office Depot, Staples, Viking. Archive, Banker's Box, Viking, Staples, Fellows. Archive, Banker's Box, Staples. archive, banker's box, staples, staples, staples. Archive, banker's box, archive, banker's box, archive, banker's box, archive, banker's box. Archive, banker's box, archive, banker's box, archive, banker's box, staples, 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 staples. Archive, banker's box, Viking, archive, banker's box, staples, Viking, office depot, office depot. Archive, banker's box, archive, banker's box, archive, banker's box, office depot. Archive, banker's box, archive, banker's box, archive, banker's box, office depot, office depot, office depot. Office depot, office depot, archive, banker's box, archive, banker's box, office depot, archive, banker's box. Archive, banker's box, office depot, fellows. Office depot, Bisley. Archive, banker's box, office depot, office depot, office depot, office depot. Office depot, Viking Direct. Office depot, Matthews. Office depot, Matthews, Bisley. Bisley, office depot, Bisley. Archive, banker's box, fellows. Archive, banker's box, staples. Archive, banker's box, archive, banker's box, archive, banker's box, fellows. Archive, banker's box, Viking, fellows, fellows, fellows. Archive, banker's box, fellows. Archive, banker's box, archive, banker's box, fellows, Viking, Viking. Archive, banker's box, fellows. Archive, banker's box, archive, banker's box, archive, banker's box, fellows, Viking, Bisley, Richard. Okay, so to finish, there was a box on the floor and it said videotapes. Do like my analogue. So I had a quick look and there was a video poking out and it said penis. And it was by 10 years. I do know his work. Well, I thought I did. Anyway, who could resist? And so here it is. We're just going to run 2 minutes. It's actually about an hour and a half long film. And today is the first time I've seen it. And it is quite purple, as Ben said. But anyway, enjoy. We're just going to have a couple of minutes.